I've got big plans today. So this morning I want to get into my half bath, which is also our laundry area, and get cleaning and start my spring clean and refresh, which means paint touch-ups, all the things, very exciting. And then that's what I'm gonna do this morning. And then this afternoon, so I'm down here to get like paint stuff. And this afternoon I want to get out to the yard. Thank you, Mr. Furnace, for shutting off. I want to get out to the yard and get cleaning up because it's going to be in the upper 50s today. And I was realizing, even though I was going to spring clean and then do the yard, that it's good to do the yard now before the grass grows. And there's an area, I'll show you all that. So I need to look for paint stuff first. And then once I get the paint stuff out, then I want to, I bet I have some upstairs. I want to get out any lawn bags because Robin has agreed to go to the dump with me today. So we're going to go to the dump and get the stuff that I put in the car yesterday that you're actually seeing in today's video. This will be tomorrow's video, right? So my days are so messed up. I'm posting. Anyway, maybe my roller is upstairs. I need to look for it. Either way, so I'm going to get this stuff together and then look for the paper bags for outside. Ooh, I also want to get that outside. This is our fire pit because I could be burning some of the stuff that I am scooping up, like at least the sticks. Here are the bags. Yay! I got the bags. Oh, here's my little roller. I should have known. Okay, now I just need to find the little thing that goes on it. Like, what are you doing? Kiss. This is why we have pulls on the couch, is because you do that. And then this one with his nails usually in my curtain. It's cloudy right now, but I'm hoping the sun will be out before I start cleaning the yard. You can see the backyard's not bad. It's really the front yard that needs most of the help. Places like that, and then this, I need to do something. And that. And then there. Oops. And then there. And there. And then there's this that I want to paint white so that it goes with the rest of the room. And I want to switch these out for brushed nickel so that this matches.
I choose to use DAP because it is paintable, like you can paint over it easily. Also, the DAP caulking is also something that you can paint over easily, so I'm going to be getting some of that as well. I'm just getting my hair out of my eyes and getting things cleaned up. I just did my hair and makeup. I have my paint clothes on. I'm ready to go. I definitely am just going to do a general tidy, and then I'm going to get going right straight to the window. And it was very dusty up over the blind. I'm not usually standing on stools, so I don't notice. I gave a quick dust to the blinds, but let me tell you, my goal is to replace it with a shade. It's just too dusty in here between the dryer, the heater in a small room, and toilet paper. So there's my DAP. I had been thinking it was all dried up, but I could see there's less in there. So I think what my husband did was he scraped away the dry stuff. I'm not taking down the blind. I considered it, and then I was like, no, too chicken. Worst thing that'll happen is a little bit of paint will get on the back of my blind. You saw I did a little bit of dusting, and I quickly was like, you know what? I hate dusting blinds. It takes forever. I'm not removing it and putting it in the bathtub. I'm going to replace it with a shade soon. So I think this window and the window in the upstairs bathroom are the same size. I know I'm going to have the shade cut by Lowe's. I noticed cobwebs here, so I had to get that cleaned up. So I'm going to get it, cut by Lowe's, and I'll know the size when I do the upstairs bathroom. Maybe I'll do both of them at the same time. That actually does sound like a pretty good idea, doesn't it? So I've gone back and forth on whether or not to have a curtain on this window, but so far I am perfectly content not having a curtain. And we had gone back and forth. Should we have a windowsill in the upstairs bathroom? And you might have heard me in a video say there's really no reason to have a windowsill in the upstairs bathroom, which is true. But because there's a windowsill on this bathroom, I feel like it would be good if the windows matched. I just feel like it gives some continuity to the house so it doesn't feel like it was pieced together. So just to kind of stay with the same style throughout the house. So I'm putting the DAP wherever I see bumps and divots and cracks, and it doesn't come out perfect, but it comes out looking a lot better, certainly fresh. I am happy I'm doing this during my spring clean. It makes so much sense to me as I do it. Once I did the kitchen, it was like, yes, when I have paint that needs touch up and such, the room just doesn't look as clean. So it looks super fresh this way. It's taking a heck of a lot longer. My spring clean might bleed into a summer clean. I don't know. I'm trying really hard to let go of expectations that I have on myself. Every time I do anything, today included, I always think I can get way more done in a short amount of time. And it just doesn't happen. So I'm learning to just accept myself. I'm going to feel like I can get way more done. But when my body tells me to stop, when time constraints tell me to stop, when there's something else that's more important that I should be doing, I'm going to stop and do that thing. I'm going to pick up where I left off. I've talked about my Aunt Betty so many times, and I only know this about her from my mom sharing it with me, but that's what she was like in her older years. If she painted a room, in her 70s, she might only do 15 minutes a day, pull out all the paint, do her 15 minutes, put it all back, and do it again the next day. That's the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of, quote, old lady I want to be. I don't want to stop being productive just because I can't do as much in a day as I feel like I should be able to do. That I should be able to do. I just want to keep on rolling. And I love doing stuff like this. But when I have expectations that are too high, and when I try to get more done than my body wants to get done, well, then I can't do anything for 2 days because I'm resting. So I would much rather be able to be productive every single day and take time to watch a show on Netflix, take time to read a book, or I don't know, I used to do cross stitch, I used to do quilting, pick up another hobby. Right now, video creation is definitely not only a job for me, it's also a hobby. So that's my creative outlet right now. But my point is, I am just trying to keep my brain dump lists of what needs to get done or what I'd like to have done and just plug away at it day by day by day without getting all upset about what does get done and what doesn't get done. And then it's a work of contentment, learning to be content when you have a little, learning to be content when you have a lot, knowing that I can do both of those things through Christ who gives me strength, and being thankful for what I did get done. I'm using the Mrs. Meyer's Rain when I just cleaned off the windowsill, and I just love that smell. Honestly, I love Mrs. Meyer's cleaners more than I love candles. And who would ever think that would be a thing? But it really is for me. When I was tidying up the other day, I bumped into this little book that I had bought for myself as a small devotional, and then I got overwhelmed with some other things that I was doing devotional wise, and I never got to it. So it's called Heart of God, 31 Days to Discover God's Love for You, Elizabeth Elliot. And as you know, I always end my videos with God loves you, and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time. And the reason I say God loves you and Jesus instead of Jesus loves you isn't because I'm denying Jesus, but the Bible does say that we were enemies of God, and that because of Jesus dying on the cross for us, we are now friends of God, and that for God so loved the world, he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. So that is why I tend to say that. So anyway, All that being said, I thought I would read the first little devotional to you because I really appreciated it. It really spoke to my heart. It is based off of 1 Peter 5:7, which says, casting all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. And so often people think it's selfish to bring their own cares to God, but he wants us to do that. He loves us so much, and we can be honest with him. He already knows our heart anyway, but it's very therapeutic for us to say it to him. And she says, do you ever have those days when you wonder if anyone cares for you? You can be certain that the heart of God cares for you. God's heart is tender and loving. God cares for us when no one else seems to be concerned. When you and I offer our fears, worries, and anxieties to God, we give him the opportunity to demonstrate how marvelously caring his heart really is, and we allow God to show us how deeply he cares for us. Peter tells us to cast all our cares. This word carries with it the idea of deliberately depositing a burden upon someone or something else. If we were to do that to another person, that person might feel like we were imposing, but it is not so with God. Peter tells us to actually cast it or throw it upon God, who will never feel imposed upon because he cares for us. Have you humbly opened your heart to him? Have you taken your worries to him? Have you accepted the outpouring of loving care that flows from God's heart? If not, then today is the perfect time to do so. Cast your cares upon God and leave them there. When you do, you will experience relief like a heavy load has been lifted from your shoulders, and it has because the heart of God cares for you. And end quote. And that was Elizabeth Elliot. I'm going to tell you that sometimes I feel so guilty and it ruins the peace that God wants to give me because I feel bad that I don't feel like I have truly left it cast upon him. And that is false guilt. Look at little Leo. He's watching me every minute. Anyway, that is false guilt. You need to just get rid of that. Let that be one of the cares you deposit at his feet. And if you have to give that care to him every single day, 5 minutes at a time, you go ahead and do that. He does not get tired of hearing the same prayer prayed over and over. We get more tired of praying it than certainly he gets of hearing it. He wants us to come to him. And so I hope that does encourage you today. I know it encouraged me that God loves me, and not only loves me, but cares about the things I care about and the things I worry about. Obviously, they're very trivial to him. He's God. But he delights in hearing your voice praying to him. So I hope you'll bring all your cares, worries, fears, and anxiety to him. Stop feeling guilty that you have them and just give those to him and let him love you and take care of you.
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We'll lift our hands up and pray, lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us, there is a light. Let him lead the way, lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Everyone needs somebody to lean on. Everyone needs someone who cares. If we come together as one, help each other get stronger. We are bound in the name together. Yeah, let's come together. We'll lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let Him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray.
Also, if you have prayer requests, I want you to know you can always feel free to mention those in the comments section, or if you would like to email me personally, my email is thismainermom@gmail.com. So thismainermom is all one word. Some people do message me on Instagram as well, Karen at thismainermom. I try to keep up with all the messages and things as best I can. I really would love, I know a couple of you have sent me cards and, written me letters, and I do want to answer those. Oh, do I stink at it? So I am trying to keep up with everything, but I do want you to know I love you so much. And when I do see a prayer request, I pray right that second. Then I don't have to worry about forgetting or anything like that. Can you tell I'm kind of in the zone here? I do. This is the thing that I always try to remind myself is I enjoy this kind of thing. So it's not a burden for me, and then I'm filming it, and then I edit it, and then I get to put it up. I get to chat with people about it. As a mom or wife or just somebody who owns a home, you're cleaning, cooking, doing all the things. It can be a thankless job, right? I have to say that putting it up online kind of gives you that little motivation and boost like you would have if you worked out in the world. In fact, I probably get more compliments about my work than I would ever get working for a company, because out of the however many people that watch it, not that that's why I do it, but it does feel good when someone says, hey, you did a good job here, or you really motivated me. So I'm getting to get stuff done in my home, and I'm getting to motivate others to do the same. I'm learning from people like you who know more than me about so many areas and share tips with me that I do use in my home. It's just a win-win, and then it is a little side job too. As I'm doing it full time, but I'm getting part-time pay. I mean, let's just be honest. But that's okay. It's building. So, it is also an income that helps my family. There's just so much good about it. And that does help me, and it does motivate me. And having happy, friendly, I don't expect you to be happy, but having friendly, loving people on the other end of this camera, I would not do it if it weren't for you, obviously, right? Does that not make sense? And I know there's so many lovely people here that if you offer your prayer request, I have full faith that others are going to be picking that up and praying for you as well. And we can be a real community. I mean, it can be a little hard sometimes because it's kind of one-way communication is how it feels. But when I always see like, someone will put a comment and I'll see it got 3 or 4 likes. So your comments are getting read, and you can be encouragement down there to people in the comments section, and you can be a prayer warrior for people in the comments section, and you can offer your prayer request. We all need help. No one is an island. Even when we want to think we're an island, it's not possible. It's not the way God created us to be.
My windows are open, wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest times, you give me hope. So I lean on you when I'm lost my way. I keep holding on for a better day. I lean on you when the world's a
follow me? All right, I'm headed outside because even though I only got the window done this morning, I am not going to waste this gorgeous weather. I know it's just going to be, as I told you, I was kind of struggling through March, just mood-wise, depression-wise. So I know being outside is just going to cheer me up. So I am going to get the fire pit. That is coming out with me because I'm going to pick up some sticks, start a fire. Oh, I can't wait. And then I just need to pick myself a rake. Maybe I'll get two and see which one I like better today. I want to get a little baby rake. I love the narrow rakes. I don't have one of those. But anyway, let's head outside for some yard fun. I'm actually really excited. This is the area where you always put the fire pit. So I need to get this raked up. We have like tons of branches and everything down. Tons of pine cones. So the leaves had gotten cleaned up. And is this not like the ugliest thing you ever saw? I'm never doing this again. If I cover this thing, it's got to be cute. That is not cute. And as you come over here, you're going to see, like, ooh, the neighbors are working too. You're going to see like tons of acorns. So all this needs to get cleaned up. Hello, far as the eye can see. This is what happens when you live in the woods. But I love hearing the neighbors around me doing stuff too. It's kind of like watching a YouTube video. I'm really going to try not to listen to a video. I really just feel like I need the peace, serenity, and just hearing birds and nature sounds. So little bits of snow that's left. Here's one of the reasons to get raking now. That is my daylily. And there's like 4 or 5 in here. And these are iris. I have a whole garden of irises. That's what's in here. So, you know, I want to get it raked out before I have to worry about breaking these pals. And over here will be daffodils. They're not even poking up. They're always late because of the shade, I guess. And then over here, I should be seeing rhubarb coming up pretty quick. That usually does come up early. So it's interesting that my irises and my daylilies are up, but not any rhubarb. Oh, this is only one bag. Get me started. I plan to go slow and steady so it doesn't feel like work, you know. So if I only get a window done every day, just think how much I would have done over days and days. Okay. I got this.
When we purchased this house, I really was trying to get off the beaten path. I was in a season of burnout. My husband had been working 2 jobs. I had 3 very young children. In fact, I think Rachel was 2, Christian was 3, and Tyler was 6. And so Robin was a full-time pastor, and he also worked for a medical insurance company. And I just was burned out. And so I was looking for retreat and respite. And we found this home, and it was the perfect solution for me.
What we do is we take cotton balls, or I didn't have cotton balls, so I took paper towels and I put Vaseline on it. I take paper towels, I put Vaseline on it. You can use cotton balls. And then I put twigs on top, and then it starts up really quickly. And usually it'll stay going. I'm going to go around and pick up sticks so I can get a fire started.
I grew up in a home that looked very similar as far as having woods around it and having neighbors about the same distance. And even though I didn't grow up near a lake where I'm across the street from a lake right now, we used to go on vacations where we would rent a cottage on a lake for 1 or 2 weeks. And so all of this is very familiar to me. And as I'm going to tell you a story here in just a minute about why I love the woods, and it's just so many growing up memories that are triggered here that are happy ones.
I also have all this from last year.
So growing up, we had woods beside us, we had woods in front of us and behind us. There was woods in between us and one neighbor, and then nothing between us and the second neighbor, but she was super sweet. We loved her so much. But the neighborhood kids, you know, it was back in the time when neighborhood kids all gathered for kickball and hide and seek and all of the things, and we definitely had that kind of a neighborhood. And we had the woods in front of us. We set up a little village as kids. We all built our own forts, and we called it Woodyville. And it just so happened to occur when my imagination was really at its peak. I don't remember how old I was, but I'm guessing I had to be 5 or 6 years old. So my imagination was huge. Things could be very, very real for me. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. And so we made this, maybe I was older than that, I don't know. But anyway, I just know that for me it was very real. So we all built our own forts in the woods, and we had a postman. We would write little letters to each other because we were all girls, you know, playing out in the woods. And I remember one day I got to be the postman. And so whenever you were the postman, you gathered all the letters that everybody had written and you delivered them to their forts. And I just remember I was just so happy to get to be the postman that day. And then we had this rock. I think we called it Monster Rock. I'm really not sure. I'd have to ask my sisters. I just remember sitting up there. And if someone told me a story about monsters on a rock, I'm going to tell you, I believe that story. And I even had a friend that would come for summers. Her name was Vicky. And she would come from Baltimore and visit her grandmother for the summer. And we played. We were the same age. I loved her so much. And I would just look forward to her coming every single summer. And her and I just had these wild imaginations. We'd make up these stories about haunted houses and all these things and trample the neighborhood together. I just have the best memories of her. So this whole, even breaking sticks and starting a fire like this all brings back so many childhood memories. And it is just so very peaceful for me. I love every second of it.
All right, the gardens are the most important thing for me to get raked, so I'm going to go ahead and do those first. So start over here at the steps. Right here, I always have a bleeding heart that comes up each year. Maybe I'll plant some bulbs in here. I don't really have anything that kind of consistently comes up over here. I'll have to show you because my bleeding heart is up. This is why I need a little. Probably the earliest I've ever gotten out to rake. So it feels great. See, we got this beautiful guy here. This is my bleeding heart. And then also right here, not where you're supposed to be, not inside the rocks. But
that's okay. Love seeing that coming up.
I'm really working on my mindset and my attitude because I do feel like that has so much to do with my perspective and how happy and joyful I am versus feeling weighed down by the world, weighed down by work. You know, I'm just someone, my husband has always said, could you just stand here and appreciate what you got done before you rush off to the next thing? And that's overwhelming to him because I'm always planning ahead. So what I'm really trying to do is focus on, like I said, I wasn't listening to anything on YouTube. I'm listening to the birds. And by the way, this is a bird soundtrack that you're listening to because the birds just don't get picked up on my camera. And I just love the birds. They just relax me. So I was hoping they would, you too. I'm being careful not to think who should be raking besides me. You know, it's always a first reaction I do get on my channel. Sometimes people will say, well, why aren't your kids helping? Why isn't, you know, they'll just name somebody. Why aren't they helping? And it's not that they don't ever help, but they're not going to be necessarily on camera. But I will say, because of their schedules, I am carrying a pretty big load these days. But that's okay. I actually enjoy raking, and I'm tempted to get overwhelmed even though we're only on a half-acre lot. It feels like a lot to me. Because I am a bit-by-bit girl, I can't handle much more than a bit, but today I'm focusing on how does the rake feel in my hands, and remembering there was a time when I couldn't rake because I have 2 herniated discs in my back, and it took years of healing and losing 100 pounds to be able to rake. I'm feeling thankful that I can do it because I actually enjoy it. And I'm feeling the rake in my hands, and I'm listening to my body. And when my body tells me it's time to take a break and it's time to stop, I'm going to stop because nobody is going to live or die because I got my yard raked. It's okay. I don't have to have the pristine yard I've always dreamed of, or, you know, it. So I'm just trying to be thankful. I'm trying to notice the little buds coming up out of the ground and the sound of the birds, and I'm just trying to make this relaxing self-care time. And I hope that encourages you to do the same in your home, to be thankful for the work you can do instead of lamenting what you can't do.
That's it. This is full already. I only had one left from last year. I'm going to get my other gardens raked out, and then that'll be it, because we are planning to go to the dump. I do need to think about dinner, all the good things. So it just has felt good to even just get a little start, and it is going to be bit by bit, and that's how I do everything. So if you're a bit by bit girl and you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, because I have so much motivation for bit by bit girls like me. This one is where my irises are. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, so I really need to look it up this year and find out how to help them bloom. If you have tips, make sure you leave them down in the comment section. But I'm not going to try to pick this up because I don't have a bag, so if I can just get the top cleaned off, I'm going to call it good. I'm also going to need to weed in here too, which is another reason it could be that my irises get crowded out. I also, that's a tree that needs to come out. Oh, I found another one. There's more over here. So I'm kind of uncovering them as I rake.
So here's 1, 2, 3, and then here's another one right here, and right here, and right here. I can see. And then another one right here. And here, and here. I did not plant these. They were here when I came. And then right here. And there's a daylily that always grows in here, and every year I transplant it, and every year it grows back anyway. And there's another one there, and there, and there, and there. So these beauties are just getting uncovered. And then up here, I'd love to know if anyone has any experience with butterfly bushes, because that is a butterfly bush, or at least the dry dead from the year before. They're supposed to just 100% grow up every year. I don't know. My mother always had one, and so I wanted one. And that's a seashell that I got, and I put it in my garden. But, I mean, it looks fallow and dead, but don't be fooled. There's a beautiful garden in there under the ground. My daffodils decide to show themselves. In fact, maybe this will encourage them. Maybe I'm giving them the signal. Spring is sprunging. Spring has sprung, and they'll start coming up. So I've seen other people in Maine whose daffodils have already come up, but mine are always late. I didn't plant these either. The only thing I've ever planted here really that have continued to come up is hostas and daylilies. I had planted, and phlox, and tall phlox, but the tall phlox don't come up anymore. And then columbine, which came up for a couple years and then stopped. So maybe I'll get some again. And then I'm trying to remember what I got. Frankincense? Is that what I got last fall? We'll have to see if that comes up. Or myrrh? I know it was something that Jesus got, and it can't be gold. I know I didn't plant gold. All right, I'm tired already. So I at least need to take a break, if not be done for today. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to download this and get it editing, and then if for some reason I get a burst of energy before we go to the dump, I'll probably clean the bathroom more. So I think I'm done outside. I'm just going to let the fire burn down. I got the wire cage over it. My husband works right at that window, so he can keep an eye on it. So, heading in.
Remember, God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time, which hopefully will be tomorrow.